Okay, so let's take a look at the voiceover model because voiceovers are a little different. Now, in the US, the traditional system is kind of similar to acting because they use casting directors. But in recent times, that system has been just pulverized by the online casting process that is so prevalent in the US. So the US is now really essentially falling in line with the rest of the world in this. In Australia and in most countries, there's no real casting director in voiceovers. The casting is done by a myriad of people within the production and post-production process. And even in the US, these people have far more say as to who the voice is than they do with the actors, which means that there are far more touch points where the voice actors can have a lot more influence in being cast for voiceovers. So let's look at one example in order to get your head around what I'm saying. Let's look at advertising, which still is the largest and most lucrative sector for voiceovers. And let's just see how it works. Okay, in voiceovers, any person along the process line can have a say or even decide who the voice will be. That means often the writer. Okay, very often in advertising or online communication, the writer will write the copy already with a particular voice or at least vocal style in mind. They may put a person's name on their script, either to have that person as the voiceover or someone who sounds like them if the voice is a reference. For example, they might say, this voice needs to sound like Tyrion from the Game of Thrones or something. Even later, once the voices are submitted, writers these days tend to have a say in the right voice for their campaign. Okay, next is the producer. Now, in advertising, the producer is kind of like a production manager on a film set. By this, I mean producers in ads aren't the funders of the project like they are in film and TV. They are the get-it-done people. They carry the project from concept to delivery in whichever medium it's going to be delivered in. Now, the producer may choose the voice based on history with a voice, or they may cast a voice based on the brief. But make no mistake, producers are heavily involved in voiceover casting. Now, sometimes the producers will make the call themselves, or often they'll confer with other links in the chain. The next one being the recording studio.